Today on Drawbli.
I am continuing my environment painting journey.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we are self-taught artists documenting our journey of learning to draw, which is, of course, better with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you are new around here and share your artwork on Instagram with the hashtag Drawbli.
Now, Abby, I hear you might have a drawing tip or two for me. Just maybe one or two.
From the Chicago Institute of Art?
Yeah, that's the place.
So these are not endorsed tips from the Chicago Institute of Art. These are my mere takeaways from their Van Gogh exhibit, which has been the focus of my last several pieces. Number one, and really maybe the only one, is emphasize your area of rest.
Which is in this piece.
The screen monitor.
The screen monitor.
Yes.
Ooh, I love that you're going in with the individual keys there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I actually really enjoyed doing this. This was kind of time consuming.
You think?
But it was actually kind of fun. I knew I wasn't going to refine this down to the very last detail, but I was going to have it look, approximately correct.
Like a keyboard.
Yeah. So I surprised myself is what I'll say on that front with how much I did on the keyboard and how much I just enjoyed it.
I like it. That feels like it would take quite a long time to do.
It did, but see, the thing is, so I was actually, I'll say it, I was at work doing this because I work at a cancer center, and sometimes not as many people have cancer that need to be treated in a day.
That sounds good.
See, that's what I'm saying. Positive spin on downtime. So I had some downtime. This is not my desk. I don't have an official desk, but this desk is where I've been sitting for the past month because the nurse that normally sits here is out on some leave for a bit, helping a family member. So that's not your cat holding the little Post-it note there? No, sadly, this is
darn.
all Amber's stuff. And so I don't really touch it, but I did draw it. And I drew it.
Shout out to Amber.
Shout out to Amber, who has...
I have no idea who Amber is.
She's really cool, actually. She likes to read from this big book of natural herbs, and I like to ask her about them, so I always call it Herbs with Amber.
Amber's Herbs.
Amber's Herbs, yeah. And some of it's just kind of like little work-related items, like a couple little tubes of Aquaphor just under the monitor, and others just her own little personal effects, a couple little bottles of oil, a Disney World themed mug that has her name on it. We can see the ER on the very edge. So and this is all kept very light and sketchy.
I love the color, like the iridescent rainbow that you just put on the screen there. I was gonna ask when you start painting here, but you just started getting into it, so.
Yeah, I let myself really liberally bounce around here. I wasn't going to allow myself to get bored or tedious with any of this. If something felt bored for a moment and something else looked more interesting, I'd go paint the more interesting thing for a little bit.
I like it. I think it's so fun. In one of my favorite parts of Drawbli is getting to watch you and your process and style evolve. Like me watching you paint the screen there and paint the keyboard, just seeing how you go about the process, where I would do it in a completely different way, but your way isn't any better or any worse. It's just the way in which you tackle it, where you're using a lot of light brush strokes and you slowly build stuff up. Me, I'm the complete opposite.
Yeah, you block things in very solidly and then drop opacity as needed. And you know where a area of color is going to be and where its boundaries are. And that results in a very pleasing, clean look for a lot of your work that I really struggle to capture in mine.
You have more of an organic process.
Oh, I like
that. But you get
botanical.
so much character in your brush strokes, and look at the keyboard. There's so much fun stuff going on with the keyboard that's so organic in terms of the places where there's highlights on the keys. It feels really fun to look at.
Thank you. And it's based on, the fun thing about that, I love drawing from life and not necessarily a photo, just because I don't know, there's just something about drawing what you see right in front of you that's a little bit different than drawing from a photo, I think. Not that I have a photo of what this desk looks like in real life for you today, so you will just have to experience it eternally as a sketchy sort of drawing as opposed to the real deal. but I assure you, this is pretty close. There's a raised desk right next to this desk, which is all that stuff to the left. And yeah, there's just a bunch of it was really fun to draw everything that's under the monitor. I will say that. All the little like details and things that just are stacked here.
I thought your big takeaway was that it's not about the details, Abby.
It's not about them, but I will maintain one of my older pieces of advice, which is to follow the fun. Whether you're working out or doing any kind of habit or anything, follow the fun, what makes it enjoyable to you. And
it's also a big concept in game design.
Oh, yeah.
If you're trying to find your core mechanic, follow the fun.
I like that.
Also true in drawing.
Yes, true in life. Holy basil tea. Yeah, she likes herbs. See her holy basil tea? I like that.
I do see the holy basil tea. Yes. And I love tea as well. I don't know how I feel about basil tea though.
I've tried some
as a big tea enjoyer.
I have tried. She's given me a couple little bags of her different teas to try before, and they are a lot more like grassy and herbal. Very very.
Basil is like, when I think of basil, I do not think of tea.
Yeah, I know a lot of her. She drinks like nettle tea as well.
Oh, nettle tea is not a fan.
To each their own.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I have some tea that people would not enjoy that I do enjoy. I have a tea that tastes like straight pebbles, and I'm like, I like this tea.
And she's got a couple little jars of essential oils. I think that one's peppermint. A pair of probably blue light blocking glasses, which all people who work with screens or in hospitals tend to gravitate towards.
Do I need to have those? I work on screens a lot.
Do you get eye strain?
Not anymore. Probably. I don't know. I've been looking at screens since I was a kid. I probably look at screens more than I don't look at screens.
Yeah, that's fair. Now then, you probably don't need any unless you want them. Some people
unless I want to look freaking cool.
Some people who are into different means of alternative health advocate for switching to a red tinted glasses in the evening to start to help your circadian rhythms wind down for the day.
Which we just listened to a great podcast about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, about sleep and everything related to sleep. Yeah, that was a great podcast.
Mainly light pollution is the biggest thing that interferes with your sleep. Most other things aren't really a contributing factor.
Yes, I think I would sleep a lot longer. My strategy for going to sleep in our room that I am convinced is as bright as day at every second is to sleep with a shirt or something over my eyes. But in the morning it's always, fallen off, and so I'm up whenever it gets slightly light in the room, I'm awake now.
I am almost positive we've talked about this on Drawbli before, but for the longest time, Abby has always complained that our room or our house in general is too bright at night. So I've never had this issue because apparently I have thick eyelids.
One time you said, I was like, even when I close my eyes, it's still light. And you were like, what? And you were so blown away by that. And I was like, wait, so you're telling me when you close your eyes, it's just completely dark?
Yes. I feel like this is a normal thing. That's what eyelids are for.
So we're in a brightly lit room right now, and you're telling me that if you closed your eyes and I somehow was able to make the room completely dark and let it light up again, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference?
I would be able to tell the difference because it's daylight. That's different than at night. But I digress. From your beautiful artwork here. Which turned out really well.
Thank you. Yes, my beautiful artwork.
There's so many cool materials in this and so many fun little details. At the end of the day, I think it's really important for an artwork to be fun.
I kept it really sketchy. I kept all those sketch in on purpose. I loved the sketch staying in because I thought that, it made it feel more fun and just
more life and energy.
Exactly. Energy. Yes.
It's all about the energy.
Exactly.
And if you want to have more energy, you should click that like and subscribe button.
And share your work on Instagram with #Drawbli, because drawing is better with friends.
And this is the part where we say...
Goodbye.
Goomba. I really, really like your past 3 environments that you have done. You have mentioned many times that you're taking your baby steps, but if these are your baby steps, I can't wait to see your adult steps.
Thank you. Thank you. It's all towards a common goal.